to begin with. So I think this is from a scrimmage. I don't remember the skill level. I think it might have been mid or something. Chinese Mafia. Yeah. That's it. I wish it wasn't AS TV. There's so much information that you don't see from a POV. But at least you get damage numbers and stuff, which is cool, I guess. Oh, it's Shinsho playing medic. That's dope. So the initial positioning for the team looks pretty normal. You have one scout in choke, and then there's scout. You should kind of try to run your medic up. So what I like to do is I like to stand in the window a little bit, so your medic can kind of beam you through the window, right? He can tag you through the window as he runs up, and then he can tag the other scout as he comes up here. But now he's kind of running up slowly, so it's a minor thing, but it still has an effect. This position, I don't like this position that much. I think it can be okay if your team's aggressive on the point. Honestly, I'm not a big Gully Watch mid player. Half the time I don't really know what to do on this mid. It's kind of awkward on scout. But I don't like this position because I think you're very easy to spam here and you're very easy to splash here and you have no high ground at all. So you can't even really deny this guy and you don't even have a buff. So the first things that you need to pay attention to is take a proper buff, make sure your medic has the speed to run up properly, and take a proper buff so this doesn't happen where you're getting bombed and you're not buffed, because there's really no reason not to be buffed on a mid fight as a scout. If you had a full buff there, you can literally go tank that guy and he doesn't even make it up. But he gets up now. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of a beef from you, so, you know, it happens, whatever. But, you know, your position and health could have been a lot better there. And also the way you approach denying a soldier like that, you couldn't really do it there because you weren't healthy, but the way you should approach denying soldiers is that you want to get in their face and you want to actually deny them. You want to stop them from getting in. So I'd say your approach was flawed there, but just make sure you're buffed and make sure your medic has the speed to run up. I have no clue still. I have no clue. I think he said this was some pretty old demo. Maybe there might have been someone else. I don't really know. I'd recognize some of these players though. Interesting that your team is on Victor. I don't know what you're planning to do. Because you guys have this ad, right? Maybe you don't. I guess you don't, because you're pushing. Yeah, just... If you're playing Pocket Scout, just play with the buff and just watch for the soldiers. Count the soldiers at all times. At all times you need to be counting soldiers. How many soldiers are there up? You know, having that thing at the top makes this a lot easier. But you count the soldiers and you think about their position. Where could they be? And you always scan. You want to have like a full view. So when you're on Victor, you want to have like a full view of the situation. You don't want to have like blind spots. So right there, you like run forward a little bit. And as you run forward, you're gonna zoom in and you get like blind spots on the skies and stuff that you don't see. So this is why the soldier gets through, because you're not scanning the whole FOV of the mid fight or the middle, right? But instead you're gonna zoning in on one target, and this soldier gets through because of this. Also, you're not buffed for whatever reason, but really you should have seen that soldier. Yeah, it's your primary objective as a scout. Doesn't matter if you're flank or pocket scout. That's what you should be paying attention to. Counting soldiers and shooting soldiers. When the soldiers are... When you know where they are and they're under control, that's when you can maybe shoot other people a bit too, you know? But the soldiers are the priority. Because within 2 minutes you've lost your medic twice to a soldier bomb, and neither time has that bomb been like excellent or anything. It's just been a misplay by you. I think they have ads, so you guys gotta go back fast. Okay, this is bad. You guys stayed too long. You're getting some frags though. You're playing against some Finnish team, I think. I think those guys should have fucking melted you there, but good thing they didn't. Usually I think it's pretty pointless to try to contest that point from top that much when they have ad. It can be risky. I think it's okay to stand there as long as you're staying mindful of the fact that they could go behind. That's like the number one thing that you want to avoid from happening, is they go behind from main and you just get stuck on river. Your soldier needs to go closer, so that sniper doesn't do that. Bruh, or your demo needs to lock it down or something, man. Just standing in the sideline. Get a buff before you run in, man. Get a proper buff. You know, I run in all the time like a retard. I get it. Sometimes it's fun to do that. I get it, okay? But just take a buff before you do it, at least. At least, because your medic's there. There's no reason to. Look at your health. Specifically ask for 185. And make sure you're 185 before you do stuff like that. I don't think that was a terrible play. You probably could have killed that guy. I mean, it's probably not that smart, but you could have killed him. It's just you weren't healthy when you went for it. For no reason. Snipers own him. You're playing really disconnected from your beam. You see this? You go forward, bring your medic with you. You stay back, you know? I don't like this, like getting disconnected. It doesn't really matter that much there, but generally it seems like you're not that concerned about your medic, really. You just kinda, you see people and you just kinda zone out on those people, you know? That wasn't too bad though, you played that okay. It's just, it's risky to run around on the floor without the beam on you. It's risky. I guess it's gonna be a bit different now. I think this is back when the medic speed was still a thing, right? So especially with that meta, you need to have your med with you all the time. I don't know if the change is gonna change that meta a lot, but you should still play the beam. Hello, Duckflame. Shoot the six. Shoot him. Shoot him. Nice. You know, if you keep shooting the sickies, you can shoot them way quicker than the demo can lay them and reload. So it always makes sense to shoot them. I don't know why you run on them there. And generally here, just get a high ground. You need high ground. Don't stand on the fucking floor. Get on the rock or get on top. You don't need to be peeking the choke. It's retarded. You're not a projectile class who peeks corners and spams. What you want is you just want to stand on the rock and you want to make sure you're healthy and you have six scattergun shots when they eventually sack, because that's probably what the next course of action is going to be here. They're probably going to sack someone and or trade. Even if they trade, it's better for you to be on height than what's happening here. You see how bad this is? This is so bad. Height, man. It's the number one thing on scout. High ground. Play the rock or play top. Your medic dies as well. That's very, very bad. If you're on height there, their trade, they need to just leave that trade if you're on height. They can't do much with that trade if you're on height. But because that guy was able to fuck you, it's... yeah. And it's not really your medic's fault for not flashing you. He could have flashed you, but... the expectation is that you're on the rock somewhere and you're fine. You can dodge things better on high ground too, and you can deny things. Almost killed him. NT, I guess. Don't think you were buffed again. If you have this ad, somebody needs to knock us. Sniper? Point? I guess it's not this ad because they're like pushing. That's nice. Again, I'd like to see you be more aggressive when they're bombing into you. So when these soldiers bomb into you, get on their face. Like, just rub your face in their face, basically. Just get in their face. Be 185 and jump in their face when they come in. You want to absorb the damage so your medic doesn't absorb the damage. You don't need to dodge them that much when the beam is on you. And usually you get some nice meat and they take some self damage too. Again, that's maybe that mechanic's a bit different too now with the new gunbow change. But generally you wanna actually deny the soldiers. That's what denying soldiers means. Your medic needs to fucking flash you there, but yeah. I think Gully Last can be kind of shit for scouts sometimes. It can be good if you're hitting shit, but I think you should have considered off class and do something there, maybe. Pyro or heavy. It's your scout, Shinjo. I don't know. Let's see if your medic can run up better this time. Like, you need to either run up with him or stand in the window a little bit. Like you can stand right here. You can stand here, get info, and then when your medic crosses the corner, you can walk up. Now he has no beam at all, so he walks up at normal speed. Again, this doesn't apply anymore, I guess. He's gonna walk up slow anyway, but I think this is back when the medic had the run speed still. I could be wrong though. If that's wrong, then you can ignore everything I'm saying about that, I guess. Again, height and buff. Height. Good awareness of that soldier. I mean, I guess it's okay to drop for him because you guys are owning. I probably wouldn't drop for him though. I think it's when the soldier is on low ground, I think usually the best course of action is just kind of contain them on the low ground. Call them, keep on top of them, keep track of their movement, maybe chip away at them like 30 damage at a time. Don't drop down for it, but maybe that mid is different because you're kind of dumbing that mid, so you just want to get that frag. Also, it looked like you didn't actually count the soldiers or stay aware of them. It looked like you just kind of saw him and you're like, oh, soldier. It's like on mids you want to be counting soldiers all the time, even if you don't do it vocally. You don't have to. I mean, ideally you call it too, but you don't have to do it vocally always. But in your brain, to yourself, you track the soldiers all the time. You see one soldier, okay, you need to be doing 360s and looking for the other one at all times, thinking of where he could be. So you can even say out loud like, I think this soldier could be under, or I think this soldier could be drop down. You can even say stuff like that, because that will make your team be more mindful of it too. You need to stop tanking this shit, man. Just think of your role as a scout as being the guy who stands behind the team, kind of looking out for this shit. So these classes that have more health, like the demo and the soldier, they can go to 260 or 300 in health, and they can peek these corners without getting rocketed and dying immediately. You don't need to do this. In some situations maybe you will lead, but even then you're gonna take the Uber in or something. You're not gonna be peeking these corners, because first of all, you're never gonna kill someone there, and you don't have the ability to juggle people around corners as a scout, right? You can't peek a corner and juggle someone and make them stuck. No, you wanna let your soldier do that shit. Make sure your soldier's buffed, because when you're doing this yourself, not only did you just feed there, but you're also like hogging heals from your soldiers, man. Just think about how the class works that you're playing. What, like in lobby there, for example, you're gonna want to stand in the area behind the stairs, like in the middle of everything, or maybe you want to watch main or something. Either way, you want to like watch all the doors you can, get as high of an FOV on everything that's happening in lobby as you can. So if there's a spy, you're gonna see it, or if somebody tries to walk in main behind, you're gonna see it. But you're not gonna see it if you're like peeking the door, right? It's like such a huge thing about scout that you seem to misunderstand here. Like a huge like meta scout thing about like how you play scout. As a scout, you don't peek these corners basically at all. Basically never you do that. At least in these like stalemate situations. Yeah, it's a demo review. You guys end up coming on top somehow anyway. But yeah, that's a feed, unnecessary feed from you. Just start thinking of yourself as the guy who's keeping track of everything. You're not the guy in the front lines doing damage in the choke point, but you're the guy who stands behind the choke point, keeping an eye on those guys' back, you know? So when your pocket soldier is peeking the choke with a full buff, he wants to feel safe doing that, and he wants to feel like you're watching his back as he's doing that, right? You see how you both take this rocket because you both stand in this shit spot? It's not ideal. Like you can play on... How do I do this? Can I drive this? I think I can drive this, yeah. You can play on this thing here. You can play on this crate. You can jump between this crate and this fence. This fence is a very good position because you can see under from here. Like this, you can see under. So you can play here. You can play here. You can jump between these two. When your team goes aggressive, you can try to get up here. I don't know if you need winger for it, either way. Just on Gully Watch, it's a bit harder to play height, but you still want to play some height. Obviously, you can't just idle here. You're going to get spammed and it's going to be hard. But you still want to kind of have this be your go-to kind of default position. And when you get jumped, then you want to kind of jump away from it so you don't get splashed by the wall or something. Gully Watch mid is not that easy on Scout, but this is not the go-to position. Sometimes you have to go here and that's okay. And sometimes even being here can be good, depending on how the mid is playing out, but it's not your go-to. Definitely not for both your scouts. Yeah, it's not ideal what you're doing. And you're chasing again a little bit. You see this guy comes behind. I think you need to work on your kind of overall like keeping track of players and being like less interested in chasing these single frags. Overall, you have like nice aim, and this mid, you played this mid quite nicely. But even here, there's 2 ups somewhere. Maybe there's spawners actually, but I'm just saying, like, just keep track of numbers all the time. Just because you see one player somewhere doesn't mean you need to go kill that guy right now. It just means you can just look at that guy, make a mental tick in your mind, like he's there, okay, look around, okay, he's there, make a read, then like, okay, maybe now I'm gonna kill that guy. I couldn't kill him in time, let me fall back to my medic a little bit. Oh, let me try to kill him again, you know? It's like, you need to think about this stuff in a more diverse way. Right now, it seems like you're in this kill mode where it's like, oh, frag, run at that frag and get him, you know? What if one were to jump off the props that are in that corner? They're not that high, but maybe can help against a splash. Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, if you find a good moment to do that, I think that's great. I think all this like random shit you can do with this movement is great. You want to make sure you're not getting in like the same kind of patterns, especially if you're getting splashed or directed a lot. You want to think about all the different stuff you can do. But I think gully mid is one of the worst or hardest mids for that, for scout. It's not that easy on gully mid. Play point fast here. You're not gonna kill that guy. That's such a waste. It's such a waste of Uber to chase that guy. You hit him for what? You hit him for 150. He's getting beamed. He's 450. I mean, common sense says you're not gonna kill that guy. The only reason I'd see you go for that is so you can get some damage for your logs. But that Uber is spent way better if you go take that Uber to the point. If you have 50% of Uber left, you can take that Uber like across the point and you can run on the point and maybe the guy will dead stickies, or you can at least get over the stickies. You can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, it kind of seems to be going okay anyway. But it's a waste. It's a waste, man. You know that yourself. You know that. You know that it's a waste. You can very easily tell in that moment if you can actually kill that heavy or not. Very easy to tell. Maybe if your demo is sticking him out, you can go for that. Even then, you're probably not gonna get him because heavy isn't that easy to sticky. Okay. Also, this is not how you play with your scouts, by the way. I can't believe I didn't say this yet, but this is not what you do. Look at this demo. He's completely free. You need to have one scout like pressuring the demo. It doesn't mean you have one scout rushing the demo. You could do that for like an aggro mid or something, but you need to have one scout pressuring the demo. This is like a very old meta thing that has basically not changed. You can have a scout kind of like... Fuck. I can't. Wait. Okay. So you can kind of come here. If you're pocket scout, which I think you are, then your flank scout should do this. But you can just kind of come here and just pressure the demo a bit from here, and he can't do as much as he's doing. Like, you guys need to get that sorted ASAP. One pressures the demo and one plays further back. Again, you see you're not on height. This soldier's fucking you. If you're on height there with a buff, that you fuck that soldier. But instead, it's quite tragic. Just leave. I would probably do that, dude. I can't blame you for that one. You guys need a gun or a heavy or something. If this is a serious game, it is criminal that you guys don't have off classes when you have this side like this. Because I assume you have this side again. And you lose one too. So you lose one and you have off classes. So this round looks very lost. Assuming they have ad. I don't know if their med actually died or not. He gets a gun now, but it's quite late to get a gun now. I think the other team should have basically pushed already. And yeah, it's hard to build at this point. Because they're already all in lobby. You guys could Uber somehow though. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it wasn't that. This is nice. Don't chase him. Unlucky, I guess. Unlucky. I mean, yeah. You probably know what went wrong there. Just get used to the habit of spotting stickies and shooting stickies. Shooting stickies is usually not a waste of ammo. It's usually a good thing to do, because you're helping your team out a lot when you shoot stickies. Your teammates can't clear stickies as effectively as you can, so you want to shoot them as much as you can. Literally, if you're uncomfortable shooting stickies, practice that shit. Get good at that. Go play some pubs and just focus on shooting stickies a lot. Prioritize shooting stickies over other things. There's a way to practice that. It seems silly, but really it's not. You want to get in that habit of shooting stickies a lot with your scattergun. Like, your health is so tragic on every mid, man. Maybe if this was happening to me, I would literally just run out with my medic the whole way. And just like stay next to him. Yeah, you need to worry about your precision and your health and your medic on this map. You need to worry about your medic. You guys need to... When shit like this is happening, when your medic's getting stuck in elbow and you can't walk up, you need to be proactively coming up with a solution. What's happening for you guys here, probably the worst things are that the demo is not getting pressure, so your medic's probably getting sticky and fucked in the elbow. That's probably the number one thing. Number two, you're not running up with your medic, or you're not offering your medic the chance to beam you as he's running up. That's another thing. You're not playing with your medic at all. You're not playing good position, so your medic doesn't feel safe as he walks up. Basically, this mid fight is like hell for your medic right now. And there's a lot of things you guys could improve about it if you just talk to each other about it. The number one thing though is that the demo is not pressured, I believe. And again, it doesn't have to be like... You don't have to tag the demo for 100. You can tag that demo for 15 damage. Just get in his face a little bit and just show him that he can't just freely walk forward, because then you're gonna meet at him, you know? Doesn't matter which scout does that, you just like re on who does it, and then you get good at doing it. You do it every time. Again, you're kind of tanking damage. That was some really nice aim from you. But again, you're kind of not healthy because you're tanking damage, so you don't need to be tanking. But yeah, that was a bit lucky, or it's lucky that you hit your shot so well. Or a nice kill also. Again, you're kind of chasing a bit, but it's okay. It's a good idea to get that frag, probably. Get health before you go anywhere. Get health, play with your med. Shoot the sticky, yeah, shoot the sticky. Get health! No, get health before you go! A quick buff, you probably have grip buffs already. So risky, man. I think out of all the lower level scouts I watched, without exception, basically every single scout that's at a lower level could benefit from just taking the beam. Just fucking demand the beam, man. You don't have to get half the heals in the game. You can just make sure you're 185. Specifically, just like specifically say like, I want 185. Give me a full buff. Your medic gives you a half buff. Say no. Give me a full buff. Stand next to him until he does it and press the medic button. Like, you have nice aim too. Just like the guy I watched last time, you have really nice aim. Just health and position. The number one and number two things you need to focus on. Position probably even more importantly. Also, just you're very frag hungry, but I can't blame you for that. I understand that. At least you guys have a gun now. What's happening? Wrong weapon. Nice aim, man. Very nice. Just a medic. Take your time. Call his location. Very nice. Stack, 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 stack. Did I spawns? Medic didn't get forward, so you can go meet your medic and then you can go to mid. Make a call. We're gonna go from here. Are you on flank? You just in. No? You have 3 people on the flank and your combo's going chuck. Interesting. Shoot the stickies. Go shoot him. Go shoot the stickies, please. So random. Your medic's like going really delayed, Victor. So stay with your medic, man. If you're playing pocket, just stay with your medic. Even for a little bit. Run with him. Make sure he's coming with you. Make sure you guys have some sort of coordination as a team. Anybody can do that. It doesn't matter who your main caller is. It doesn't matter if you have a main caller. Anybody can make these calls. These calls are like simple meta calls that somebody needs to make. Okay, we're pushing Victor. We have ad. Are you guys ready? We're going Victor. I'm in Victor. Are you guys coming in flank? What's happening? Can I get a buff? Where's our heals? Shit like this, talk to your team. It's just watching that. I'm not even in comms, but just from watching that, I can tell that there's no comms like that whatsoever, like in your mumble. Even better if you start counting shit down. That's even better. But you don't have to. You don't have to worry about counting shit down when it's so messy like that. Like you should never have a push like that where both scouts are in before the team with a soldier by themselves. It's so random. It's so random. You gotta do things together. Nice aim again. Like super nice DM. Don't rush that guy, man. You're not even buffed, man. Don't do that. You're not even buffed, man. Take a buff. Come on, man. Like, okay, like, I understand that it's nice to get frags. I do this shit all the time where I feed and do dumb shit. But make sure you get a buff before you do it, man. Just make sure, at least get some beam. Don't ever run at a guy at 100 health. You were like one pipeable there, I think. Almost. Don't do that. And also don't, like, run around corners predictably like that. Try to delay a little bit or something at least. That was, like, the most predictable thing you could have done. It was an absolute feed. Yeah, I think these guys need some calls like that. So yeah, I mean that's a bit unlucky. It's the same shit. I could be repeating the same shit. But yeah, you couldn't really get a buff there, I guess, because your medic was already in. But that's if you don't get a buff, then you don't need to. You don't need to go in for the fight like that. Or at the very least, if you're not buffed and you want to take the fight, at least take the fight like cautiously. Take it without like running in like that, you know. You can take the fight slowly, avoid damage as much as you can. Because if you're not buffed, you can't afford to catch any damage, because then you're one-shotable after. If you get bombed, you die. You need to run back because you're gonna get bombed. Unlucky. NT. You're one down, so it's a bit weird to go snipper. Yeah. I mean, you guys had no chance because it was like 4v6 or 4v5 or whatever. Because you fed on top. I mean, going for those hero shots is cool, I guess, but you gotta remember that if you fail them and die, it's very tragic for your team, especially in a situation like that. Kinda gay that it's 5v5. Okay, let's watch this 5v5 mid. Uh-oh. No buff, no position. Still no buff, still no position. Still no buff. You don't have a medic though, so that's why I'm just whining about something that's literally impossible. Can I skip this until you guys are 6? I don't want to waste my time with this. Okay, there you go. You have this ad now. This ad hold. Okay. I think this gun is close on left, right? Is it? Oh no, it's under. Okay. So one thing about this... Basically, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but in Prem, there's basically a few things you do with a gun on this map. You get a gun here, and then you have a pyro stand next to the gun, making sure that the gun stays alive for as long as you can. Or then you do this like 7 hold that they used to do, where you get a gun like closer, and then you have a pyro basically attempt to lock down this door entirely. But basically, whatever you do with your pyro and engineer, you should make sure that it's compatible. You could come up with your own strat for this, whatever you want, I guess. But if you have your gun down here, then I don't know if pyro is the best choice. And if it is, there's really nothing compatible you can do with that. I guess as a pyro, there's really no much you can do on this map except like deny them in that door or then play the gun, right? Play next to the gun, make sure it survives for a long time. I guess going pyro under, I guess that could work. Haven't really seen that happen. I guess that could be good. I could see this working out. I don't know what. Okay, I guess this is okay. I don't know how you're not getting shot in the back, but that wasn't too bad, I guess. That's alright. You guys lost a lot of people. You guys need some structure on last holes. You need to get your team to like pick a side and play that side, right? It's like I don't want to go through the whole last hold. It's like there's like a lot of variables and stuff that you need to talk through if you're gonna talk through a last hold. But basically, just focus on making sure that your team is kind of on a side. And by your team, I mean your medic. You have your heals on a side, and if you lose that side, then you maybe try to take the other side, or then you try to retake that side. But you need to have your kind of heals on a side, or then coming from spawn to a side, right? But to me, it looks like everybody's kind of scattered and kind of doing their own thing. But on last holds especially, it's super important. Focus targets, being on the same side, focusing the same side, aggression at the same time. Same calls are important, you know? Like, they push left, okay guys, reset right side, we have heals right side, I'm on the right side. And then someone goes, maybe a soldier's gonna go like, I'm bombing on them on the left, and then you all go on them at the same time on the left. Stuff like this, coordination, you know? Super important. You guys had none of that. Looked like you guys just aimlessly run around. No focus target, no site to reset on, nothing like that. No structure basically. Like no structure at all. Well, thank you, Toofty TV. I appreciate that. 51? Wow. Poggers. Thank you so much for that. I'm watching this demo and then I'm gonna go right after in 8 minutes, unfortunately. But I'm gonna pass on the raid to someone else. So now you guys have 6 again. Let's see it. Again, you cause some damage, so the moment you catch some damage, you go, okay, let's chill, heal up, chill, and then you can go forward again a little bit after you get healed up. You're so fucked here already, man. You're already so fucked. The mid just started. There's like you weren't like basically in that mid at all. You just walked in, you munched some damage, and you died. Position, man. Stop playing primarily on the floor. On this map, sometimes you have to drop on the floor because this map's difficult like that. But stop playing primarily on the floor. You need to primarily try to play on height, and you need to ask for the beam. You don't just expect to get the beam when you can. You ask for it. If you take damage early, okay, it happens. Take a couple steps back, slow down, get the beam, get buffed, and play the mid like that. Don't walk forward on 100 health and catch more damage. It's hard though. This mid is hard, so I get it. It's hard. Well, thank you, Lucky. I appreciate it. I'm sorry, I have no like alerts or nothing. They're in lobby, so you gotta leave. Honestly, in this situation, I probably would have called the block second, because they're clearly going behind, and it seems you guys are ultra fucked here. Yeah. It's one of those heat in the moment calls, though. It's like hard. They haven't killed your med, though, so maybe you're fine. It seems pretty dire, though. That's one of the things when you're up top. It's like what I was saying before. I don't really like playing up top here when you're on this side. There doesn't seem to be much purpose to it. I mean, you guys had a sniper, so it kind of makes sense, but it could be very bad. And they kind of fucked up because they didn't kill your medic. They could have been way worse than it was. You kind of should have lost that round. Like, they made a nice read that you stayed up top too far, or too long, rather. And you guys should have paid for it, but you didn't because they probably failed their DM a little bit there. Just when you're up top, you gotta make sure somebody sees lobby. If nobody else is doing that, then you gotta do that. You gotta watch the stairs behind and look at lobby. Because the moment they cross into lobby is the moment you should already basically be fucking out of top. Because they're faster to get the main there than you're able to get out. So that's the second time this game that you guys got caught out up top. It's just bad. You gotta keep track of that stuff better so you don't get caught out there. And there's really ultimately there's no purpose in being there. Unless you have a sniper, in which case it can be okay, but even then, it's not worth the risk usually. You guys have ad now, I think, though. But you're 2 down. Nice aim, man. I would probably just take this fucking Uber and run into them in lobby with this. I don't know if that would be the best play, but that's probably what I would call. But yeah, now it's best to just leave, especially since they have this sniper. Even if you have ad, you want to get spawns, then maybe go Victor. You could rotate Victor here. Which you're doing. Shit. I think you've lost the ad. They have a sniper though, so I like the idea of pressuring. You're taking a trade. Shoot the stickies, free med. Shoot him, free med. Damn, you're lucky he gets out. If he gets out. Yeah, he got out. Always shoot the stickies, especially in Ubers. Just get into the habit of shooting stickies as soon as you lace them on the ground. There's nothing else to shoot there anyway, because they're Ubered, so who else are you gonna shoot? You can shoot the stickies. You might as well. Again, shoot stickies, fast. Your team can do stuff. Shoot stickies. Ooh, juicy. Unlucky. Nice sandwich though. Can't believe they didn't watch pick there. It's kind of random that you're there, but your other scout is behind. I think you guys, if this is your current team still, you guys will benefit a lot if you just start playing like a really stable pocket scout. Like way more stable than you're playing right now. At the moment you're kind of in tunnel vision mode most of the time. I don't know if this is ad or not, I don't know. Oh, this is a fat trade if you solo this shit. You can kill the demo. At least you're buffed now when you rush him, but I would literally tell my mech to pop on me and just go kill that demo with that Uber. I think I would have called for that. I would have called for the Uber sooner anyway, but it's unlucky that you die, but like, actually it's not really unlucky because your movement's kind of predictable. You run in a straight line, you're gonna beef your shots, okay, fair enough. You probably kill him if you don't beef your shots. But you run in a straight line, you don't have the beam with you, you're not Ubered. I mean, if you don't get Ubered to kill that guy, then at least dodge a little bit. That guy's gonna suck anyway, so it's not like you have to kill him as fast as you can, you know? Just call to kill that guy, call that he's in lower, and take your time with that fight, man. If you're Ubered, that's when you run in a straight line, because he can't fucking kill you. If you're not Ubered, take your time, dodge a little bit. He's stuck anyway, right? He's stuck, so... But yeah, I probably would have called for the Uber sooner there and just killed that demo with the Uber. Because if you call for the Uber soon there, like sooner than you guys Ubered, then you can actually probably force them too. You can get a trade out of it. Because when you've Ubered in their face, it's a lot harder for them to milk it. Because right there they're able to run out. I don't really see what happened there, but the team just fucked them. Yeah, I can upload the HUD before I leave. I'll do it after this, if you remind me. Assuming I'm gonna forget in 2 minutes time. Run at him. You gotta run at him there, I think. Actually, no, you don't. I'm wrong about that. That's a nice play from me. Your aim is so sick, man. Look at that pistol. You're kind of unlucky there. I think you guys need to target focus as a team. I know a lot of these things that I'm saying are not personally to you, but they kind of are. Because target focus, if it's not happening in your team, if nobody's calling target focus, then it's your responsibility to call it. Anybody can call it. Or even if you're not calling target focus, just make sure that you're shooting the people that other people are shooting. Or make sure that you're calling for people to shoot the people that you're shooting. There's a lot of things you can do to make sure that there is target focus. It seems like you guys have like none. Because that soldier should have died there. Maybe because there's like a few minutes left, you guys are getting a bit desperate and doing desperate shit. But that last push looked like it could have been really good for you if you guys just shot the same targets, if you had the same idea. It's like generally like, okay, now we're playing the point, or now we're going for frags. These are the frags we're going for, you know? Shoot demo on left, shoot soldier on the point. Or it doesn't even have to be that precise. It can literally be like, soldiers fucked on the left. Even that's kind of a focus call. But you can also just kind of look at what your teammates are doing and make sure you're not doing a separate thing from them like you were there. You're going for frags on the left there, and your team's playing the point there. And because you're all doing different things, you end up losing your individual fights instead of all taking the same kind of target, right? It's a game. It's basically over anyway. Yeah. This was a nice demo to watch. I hope it was useful for you that I watched it. Let me just hop on Gully Watch for a second so I can maybe illustrate some of the things that I mean just for a little bit. Oh no, I have your binds, I think. Fuck, what the fuck? Right. Let's try again. What the fuck is this, man? This is just running forward. So weird. Okay. What the fuck is this? Do I have to restart? Really? I have to restart. Okay, I'm gonna do it anyway, but fast. I should remember to set my configs to read only when I'm watching demos, man. I always forget to. Too late, nation. Too late. Yeah, that probably would fix that. Wrong fucking map, bro. I'm brain dead, man. I just automatically write rocket shooting every time. Okay. Okay. So for mid positioning. First of all, either you or your other scout needs to get in the habit of coming to mid and doing this. Pressuring the demo a little bit like that in the beginning. You know, however he finds the best ways to do it. You can watch some demos of scouts who are good at doing that and get good at doing that. I basically never do that, so I think I shouldn't give much advice on that topic. I probably wouldn't give great advice. Just practice it, get good at doing it. Again, you don't. The idea is not that you kill the demo every time. The idea is that you kill the demo 1 out of 20 times, maybe, when you're going aggressive with your team. By the rest of the time, you just pressure him, shoot him for like 20s. If he, you know, the idea is that the demo is here and he has a scout here, so he can't just shoot freely here and here without taking damage, and he can't just walk here, for example, which I think the demo was able to do in that game. Very important basic thing that you guys need to correct. Also, you know, I think you guys had this scout speed thing still in this demo. So what I would do is I would stand here and let the medic beam me from here as he runs up fast. Alternatively, you can come here and you can just run up with the medic. So you have, if someone is bombing here, then you have a scout here that's fully buffed. You can do that. Or then, you know, maybe in this meta you're gonna have the medic just walk alone sometimes. But even then, you want to kind of come here and then you want to kind of reset around this high ground over here. Play around this high ground. Play around this high ground. You can spot under from here nicely. Sometimes I like to even come up here with the winger. I don't know if you can make it without the winger. You probably can. Or probably not, actually. Oh, yeah. With the winger, I like to jump up there sometimes, even though it's a bit weird. But just because this mid is kind of awkward. Yeah, you want to come up here when your team's going aggro. Just play the height more. Okay, you don't have to play the height exclusively. You really can't, because you're gonna get spammed. But you need some height. Usually when the solis bomb me when I'm here, I like to try to jump away from the wall so you don't get splashed. Again, kind of jump into the soldiers. I think on one mid you were here, and a soli walked here and bombed up here while you were standing here. If you're buffed in these situations, you can get in his face like that, like block his entry. Get in his face, like literally get in his face. Don't just look at him from next to him, but just get in his face and shoot him. Just height, just height. Holding second, you were like sitting here, like peeking here. It's bullshit. Don't do that. You're not a soldier. You're not a demo. Don't do that. You play this rock here, maybe. Maybe you play up here somewhere. Sometimes you want to play up here, depending on your medic's position and what they want to do. But just on a high ground, and you just sit there. You just sit there. You build. You stay buffed. You stay reloaded. So when the soli comes in, or when the trade comes in, you're ready and you're in a good position, right? You're not on the floor, getting fucked. Super important. What else? In this area, you're gonna want to stand around here maybe. I think this is quite a good position for scout. Maybe watching main deep is good too, depending on what your team does. Just make sure everything's being held. But you don't want to, again, you don't want to come here as a scout. Don't do that. Don't come here. Let your soldier and demo do this shit. Usually you'll have your demo sticky here and your soldier hold this. And those guys need to be healthy, they need to be buffed. And they won't be if you're standing here with them. It's tragic. You stand around here, or wherever. You just watch your team's back. That's your role. You don't peek the doorways. That's what soldiers do and demos. Yeah, I think that's the most important thing for you to focus on. position and health, and just understand your role better. You're like a kind of a backup player most of the time, and then in Ubers and stuff, you're maybe taking a more front role sometimes, but take a chill pill and analyze situations, like read situations more before you commit to chasing frags and stuff. It's important. Yeah, that's just the basic stuff. I'm gonna highlight this demo so you can watch it later. I don't think he was here right now. I'm gonna host Matt. And yeah, I'll upload the HUD real quick.